So this is Paradox's burn list. He said he is won 15 of his last 17 games playing this list. It is very similar to Pioneer Burn in a lot of ways. We're not on the Viashino Pyromancer list. It's not playing that card, which I'm kind of glad for. That card was good to recur with Luris in certain situations, but also very much a trap at the same time. I feel like the entire Wizards package is a little bit of a trap, but I think that the 8 Wizards is enough to turn on Wizards Lightning. So as long as they're used strategically, I think it'll be fine. I'm also intrigued to play the 3 Searing Bloods in the main. That is a very hit or miss card in a lot of situations, so I'm excited to try that. We're also only on 18 lands, so that's a little bit of a different pace. And the other big thing that stands out to me is that there is 0 Chain to the Rocks in our sideboard. Which is ironically one of my favorite cards. So I'm really curious to see how this plays out. We're really not focusing on the removal-heavy side of the matchup. We're really focusing on the 4 Skullcracks and 2 Roiling Vortex gives us a pretty good matchup against the Mirror. I do like the 2 Deflecting Palms. I think that's a very underplayed card in Pioneer, so I'm kind of excited to see that. 4th Searing Blood in the sideboard seems good. 1 of Abrade. That's kind of interesting with the 3 Smash Smithereens. Abrade is a great versatile card, but it doesn't see a lot of play in the burn list in Pioneer. So, and then Rest in Peace is good against a lot of the meta. So I'm kind of interested to see what this looks like. Made a few side changes. Took out the 4th Blood, Rip, and Abrade for 2 Spheres and 2 Volleys. Okay, well, I mean, that's something we can try later, or keep that in mind if, we play another league or something like that. But I think I want to try it the way you sent it to me, just to see what the original list feels like. I mean, you said you're 15 of 17, like of your last 17 games, so 15-2 is a pretty good record overall with the deck. Now, granted, part of that always comes into play where, it's all about what makes you feel comfortable when you're playing card games. In my opinion, I feel like a lot of people agree with me on this, and I feel like it's a pretty common feeling throughout the community, is that whatever you feel comfortable with, you have a better chance of winning with. Some people are just good enough to always feel comfortable playing the best deck. For most of the people that play card games, that's not always the case. If you're anything like me, I need reps. I need to sit down and play a deck. I need to sit down and understand it. Now, Burn's not really that way for me because I have spent thousands of hours playing Burn nonstop. But most other things I need to sit down and get some reps in. So this is one of those hands that if our opponent's playing a creature deck, this is going to be great. But if they're not, we're probably a little SOL here. But I do like the double Swiftspear start. Alright, we'll attack for 1 here. So the double Searing Blood feels like it'll at least have some value against the Elves. Hopefully they're not doing anything completely bonkers here. Actually, we're just going to get to kill the Innkeeper here, which is great. I'm going to shock this in. They're not going to block here. I mean, if they did, I would be blown away. Aggro Blaze, so never keep a 1 land with this list? Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's only 18 lands in our deck, so I feel like there's 0 reasons we could ever keep a 1-lander in this deck. Jeez, are we just about to die to, Winota on turn 3? Puts in Huntmaster. Well, that's scary. We're at 10. Put our opponent to 9. Burn spell Skewer. I mean, Blood can also hit your own creatures. You mean Searing Blood? Yeah, it can. I think during our opponent's upkeep here, we're just going to I think we're just going to Searing Blood the Elvish Mystic here. I feel like this is one of those games, if we're on the play, we win this game. Like, I think if we're on the play, we win this game. That was a crazy turn 3. Yeah, our opponent had a very good turn 3 there. This is one of those matchups where the Rending Volleys would be really good, but the Deflecting Palms will also be very good. Getting to Deflecting Palm Tavlar here is really good. Brutal Cathar into 2 triggers. Brutal Cathar kills us. That also just kills us. Okay. I mean, yep, we got Winota here. Fortunately, nothing we can really do about it. Searing Blood and Deflecting Palm. Abrade seems good enough to try here. It's also good against the. It's also good against the Chariot, so that's pretty sweet. I think Boros Charm does not interact with the board here, and I think that therefore makes it our worst spell. Yeah, we can't keep this. No, not a one-lander like this. I think this hand's a lot better. We'll keep this and put the Lavarunner back. Our opponent keeps 7. I can't imagine they don't have a dork here. The goose is a problem. I'm actually curious to see if they block here to try and stop us from having a lot at the stage. Kind of hoping they did block there, because if they do block, we're able to play with Fire them and scry one, which would have been better for us, so... We'll attack for 2. I think we got to kill the Prosperous Innkeeper. It represents too much life over turns, so we'll let this go, and then we'll have a Lightning Strike at the ready. I'm curious to know if they fire up the Chariot here. I attacked very quickly and have a Soul-Scar Mage in play, so I highly doubt it. Really? Okay, that's aggressive. We get to kill the Chariot and they take 4 here. I don't know that I would have made that block personally from the Winota side of things. And I say that pretty confidently, having played Winota a few times. I mean, our opponent had on the play turn 3 Winota. And like on the draw, turn 5 Winota. Like, wow, they whiffed on the second one. I don't really know what we're looking for here. I mean, well, we got Winoted. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we're on the play, game 1, we win. And we had to mulligan game 2, and we didn't have a single Searing Blood of 4 in our hand, so, or a Deflecting Palm. We had 6 sideboard cards that we brought in, and we didn't see any of them, so Deflecting Palm would have been great that last turn. Would allow us to play a lot differently. But I mean, You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Huh. Well, we're just waiting to find our next game here. There we go. Oh, we get to be on the play here. Hi and good luck. Nope, no creatures and no second land. This hand's a lot better. I think we're putting a play with fire back here. I think the skewer is... I mean, the skewer is our only 3 damage spell. Whether that's picking off a creature or going upstairs, you need it regardless. Okay. Oh, we'll attack. They inevitably will not block. We'll play with fire this. They go to 15. The fact that they had to shock on turn 1 is awesome. Them going Temple Garden into Llanowar Elves makes me think that they're on Winota. Okay. Let's take a greedier play here. We'll put that on the bottom. Wow, no land. Surprising. We'll attack for 3 here. Our opponent might block, I'm not sure. But our opponent's at 12 and we have 9 points. So now our opponent's at 9 and we have 9 points. If we draw a land, we win. I'm okay with just, you know, doing this. They're forced to block the Swiftspear here or they die. And now they're at 1 and they can't use their mana confluence. So it feels like we've locked this game up. And, I mean, again, this is the difference between being on the play and being on the draw versus Winota. Like, almost every time. I like taking out Boros Charms here. Like they don't interact with the board in any way. Hey, Kyle with 14 months. What's going on? With real dollars. That's right, real dollars, not Bezo bucks around here. I appreciate it, brother. All right, let's see here. Yeah, we just can't. As much as I may want to, we can't. We'll keep this and put a play with fire back. Again, I want to keep the Lightning Strike because it's our only 3 damage burn spell. Kill the Llanowar Elf here. I like casting the Searing Blood here because it allows us to have a 1-drop into 2-drop play next turn. And if we had played Swiftspear and Play with Fire this turn, we still only get to kill 1 thing. And we are stuck in a situation where we have Searing Blood and Lightning Strike in our hand, and we have to draw a 1-drop next turn to be able to do anything. Yep. And then we're going to do one to our opponent. Feels like drawing Abrade is the only way to get in there. Oh, wow. Kyle, man. Resubbing and gifting out 5 subs. Let's go. Showing some love. I appreciate you, man. Lots of love, fam. So, we're just going to concede here because I don't know how we beat that thingy. A timely Abrade would have been good, but I think, again, without it, we're just kind of up a creek. So, I think we'll just run it back the way that we have it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't like the Boros Charms in this spot. This hand's awesome. We have 3 plateaus here, or plateau. That's not the right one. I don't know. Whatever the Boros dual land is here. Having the Searing Blood in hand, I'm not even going to give my opponent the chance to block. I mean, I guess if they block, I'm okay with just playing double Lavarunner there, but... we'll go ahead and kill this. We put our opponent to 10 here because they're not blocking. And then we're going to cast Light Up a Stage here. Much love. Yeah. Mwah. Or whatever you do when you're streaming. Much love back at you, man. I appreciate it. Alright, Light Up a Stage. I mean, that's gas. Like, that's what we need. Because now if our opponent plays like an Apparition or anything here, we're just in a really good spot. So, we'll go upstairs. We'll kill this thing. We'll put our opponent to 2. So, like, last game versus this game, you are looking at a great Winota draw versus an awkward Winota draw. Like, this is 100% what you get. Like, this is the difference. Like, when Winota draws nuts, it does to us last game what it did. And, yeah, we'll leave that on top. That's fine. I think it's funny that it lets you scry because it's part of resolving the spell before they actually die. That's actually really interesting. But, like an average Winota draw, we run it over like that. We were on the play. They have a mediocre draw, like a normal just Naya mid-range draw, and we run them over. They're on the play, like they're on the play, and then they have like this insane turn 3 like nut draw, and they run us over. Like that is the ceiling, and that is the floor on Winota every time. At least the deck worked this time. Yeah, no, I mean for sure. And you know that's the funny thing is like I feel like the deck worked last time. Like I feel like the burn deck worked last time too. Like we were just like we played against like a nutty Winota draw, and like in my opinion, I would be open to argue this with people if they wanted to. When Winota, like, every deck's ceiling, Winota wins every time. Like, I just, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that's a fact, but I would almost argue with anybody that that is a fact. Winota's power level is just so beyond anything else that anybody else, that any other deck is doing in Pioneer. Really like leading on Swiftspear here. I recognize that name, Quantum Boy. I've played against him a few times. I really wonder if anybody ever sees my name and goes, "Oh, I know that guy," or "I know that person." I could be a woman for all I know, unless they watch me stream. Look at me, trying to be gender inclusive. Who am I? Yeah, see, bro, like, you're playing blue-white control. I have zero respect for anything that you're doing right now. I'm just upstairs, dome you, like, get in the bread zone. We're attacking for 7. If you have nothing, the game is probably over. Okay, they had something. Okay, I was like, if they don't, the game's probably over right there. So I would take out 3 greats on the draw for a Abrade Smash. Take out 3 greats. I'm not sure what you mean by 3 greats. Three great. I don't know what you're referring to when you say 3 greats. Well, this was fun. Does my opponent have a removal spell? I mean, the funny part is if they do, this game's not over. So they march that. They go to 1. They have a non-damaging land Supreme Verdict me, and then I'm forced to draw the out here. Oh, 4 Eidolons? Oh, Eidolon the Great Revel. Please draw an out here. No! This game hates me. Alright, so our opponent's at 1, and we might lose this game now. For 3 Abrade Smash. Oh, against the Winota deck, you mean? I mean, that's definitely something you could do. I don't necessarily, like, quote-unquote think that's wrong. I really like Eidolon in the Winota matchup on the player of the draw, but it's very possible that you're just so far behind on the draw that you don't want Eidolon. I'm just going to hold all of my spells here until I get into a place in the game where I'm able to... Well, I keep hoping we'll actually draw burn spells so that we can... like, you know, play multiple instant speed burn spells. Three of a kind? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely 3 of a kind. We've gotten our opponent down to 1. It feels silly to not play around something strategically here. So we're gonna play Soul-Scar Mage and see what they do. If they let it resolve, I'm gonna cast another Soul-Scar Mage. I'm now going to say go. If they do anything where they don't have enough mana to counter a Lightning Strike, see, this is tough. Because you want to make them use mana on their turn. We're going to cast a Lightning Strike here if they try to do anything or gain life, because we don't want to be casting the Boros Charm, because if they absorb, if they absorb the Boros Charm, then they're at 4 and we have a 3 damage spell in our hand. But if they absorb the Lightning Strike, they're at 4 and we have a Boros Charm in our hand. Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Lightning Strike you. Yield to the prowess triggers. They cycle. They cast Absorb in response. Just kidding, they concede. We didn't even need the second burn spell. Awesome, we did it. Alright, so we want 4 Skullcracks and 4 Roiling Vortexes. I have to say, Paradox, the way you have this set up, this is the most cards I've ever had for the blue-white control matchup, which I'm kind of a fan of. Play with Fires are our worst burn spell, but Searing Blood is even worse. Yeah, Searing Blood's not great here. I do like all of our creatures. I think that allows us... Our creatures allow us to put enough pressure on them giving our burn spells enough backup, because this isn't like in Modern. Like in Modern, you know, and even in Legacy for that matter, like all of your spells just deal 3. So you just like Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, Rift Bolt, Skewer. Like, and you know, in Legacy you even have Fire Blast and like Price of Progress and some stuff like that to deal more damage than 3. But your creatures don't have to do that much in Modern. Like, you know, if Goblin Guide hits twice, you now had a 1-mana Boros Charm. Eidolon, but most of the time Eidolon, when they have a removal spell, like Eidolon is always like at least 2 for 2, which is not great. But at the same time, 2 for 2 is not awful. So yeah, like Censor blows us out here without a second land, so I don't think we can keep it. I think this hand's a lot better. Yeah, we're gonna keep put the Skewer on the bottom. Our opponent plays a tapped land. I'm gonna lead on Swiftspear here. Gonna attack for 1. We'll play a Lavarunner. I was curious to know if they would actually censor the Lavarunner. They must not have a censor. That, or they're looking to hit an extra land. They're short on lands, and so they're looking to cycle and make sure that they hit their land drops. So I'd actually rather just attack for 3 here and then hold up Boros Charm to protect my permanents, because then we have, if we hit an untapped land, we have Skullcrack and Lightning Strike in the same turn, which is actually really good, because that's 6 points, puts them to 9, and then it's 8 points, and they're at 1, and we have 3 creatures in play, so hopefully they just go for the Supreme Verdict here and we just kind of get to blow them out. Well, we need them to go for Supreme Verdict here, and then we need to also hit an untapped land. Okay. Hits the Soul-Scar Mage. That's interesting. Knowing that they did that, I'm just going to start slinging burn spells here. We'll attack for 2. See if they take it or if they play anything. They just take it. We're going to cast Light Up the Stage here. Light Up the Stage is an insanely good draw step. Hopefully there's no Dovin's Veto. Yeah, Dovin's Veto is a good one. So our opponent's at 10 and we have 7 points in our hand. I'm going to hold up our spells here. We are kind of in a spot where we're able to just like hold up our spells and force our opponent to play into them here. That's pretty good. I mean, if you're willing to take 3 here, opponent, I'm okay with that. Are you just dead? If they exile the... Oh, they are just dead. No, they're not. No, they're not. Wait. No, they go to 1 here. And then we get to Skullcrack them. And then they go to 1. Alright, Paradox. The Skullcracks have been insane here. Are they minusing? Man, if they minus, they're in a bad spot. Wow. Insane. Thanks for playing, bro. Alright, well that felt pretty good. I mean, unless I just have a Spell Pierce here. Yeah, that felt pretty solid. That was by far the most cards I've ever had to bring in against a blue-white control deck. Of course, to be fair, I'm normally not playing the main deck Searing Bloods, so that was interesting. I think that game worked out in a very good way for us. The 4 Skullcracks in the sideboard is insane against the blue-black control decks, or any of the control decks, really. It's just really good against, and it just really shined right there. Like, we didn't even draw a Roiling Vortex, but having the 4 Skullcrack as a timely answer to the Wandering Emperor was just insane right there. So 2-1. Hopefully we keep the good times rolling here. Koi Baumaster's still playing. Oh, he's not playing anymore. He was playing in the Modern Super PTQ. I don't know if you guys have I don't know how much you guys really watch Magic or check out other channels or anything like that. I try to watch a good variety of channels on Twitch, just to I like to support people and it's kind of funny, like you never know how much a random follow will make people's day. But somebody, and this person's a bigger streamer, so it's nothing like that, but his name's the Will Hall EXP, and it just stands for the Will Hall Experience. He has been streaming Pro Tour coverage nonstop while the war in Ukraine is going on, and all donations, subs, gifts, everything are going towards that. And we're gonna mulligan this, and it's really awesome. So if you get a chance, you should check out his channel, support him, and what his efforts are going to right now. So it's pretty awesome to see. Okay, what the flying hell? We went from 4 lands to 1 land to 5 land. I don't know what you're up to, deck, but you better pull it together. I ain't having this trash. The Searing Blood better be good. Our opponent better be playing something with creatures. Okay, step 1 complete. Good spell. Okay. I feel like you're listening to me, deck, and I appreciate it. Maybe this is going to be a good mulligan to 5. So I think the Searing Blood is more important here than the Eidolon. Eidolon is insanely good against these green strategies when you can get it down under something. Oh wow, that's insane! That's insane! Oh my god! Oh my god! This is so good! So good! Ah! Ah! We're going upstairs. I thought about whether I should hold it for a dork or something like that, but no. I can't do it. It's too greedy. Attack for 2. Our opponent goes to 10. Now, anything they play next turn is going to put them to 8. They probably don't have another land. If they played that last turn, I doubt they have another land, which means they probably wanted to do, dumb, burning tree, make 5 mana, do some other dumb stuff. Haha! The chickens have come home to roost, green deck. Finally! I'm down 1,000,000 to 1 against this stupid deck. But finally, a point for Zach. Alright, Boros Charms don't interact. Just like Winota, we're going to take him out. Eidolon might be bad on the draw. Eidolon at least blocks, though. Eidolon blocks the Mistcutter Hydra and some things like that, so I like it better. It's always really funny to watch people draft. Like, I really enjoy Limited as a format. Like, it's one of the formats that I feel like I'm honestly pretty good at. Like, so, when talking about Limited, before I get into my thing about Limited and how I feel about me playing Limited, what I was referring to when I said that Limited is interesting to watch is that it's, like, you always play Limited. They always play Limited at the Pro Tour. And it's always interesting to watch, in my opinion, because it's like, you take the best players in the world, and like they have to practice for both formats, and it's just a bunch of like dorky 3-mana 2/3s or like 3-mana 2/1s that replace themselves when they come into play. But I feel like do a 2/2 split. Do a 2/2 split. All right, 2/2 split incoming. It like. I really like Limited, and I really like playing Limited, and I feel like I'm pretty good at Limited, but it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. You can't just hand me anything and me be good at it. Like, I have come to terms with that. If you hand me, like, the best deck in the format, I will play worse than, like, Seth Manfield will with it. Like, just every time. Like, it's just who I am. When the best deck in the format is a mono red deck or some kind of burn strategy, I thrive. Like, that is where, like, I live. Like, I do awesome. Like, when Hazoret Red, when everybody was playing Hazoret Red, I dominated. When everybody was playing the Rakdos Chain Whirler deck, I dominated that format too. We don't have a lot of removal, but this hand could be good, so we'll try it. Like, I don't think we can throw away this hand. This hand's really good. All right, play with fire off the top. Searing Blood's not a bad second option, but if you if there's going to be a Limited format out, and I know that it's going to be out for a while, I really like playing Limited, especially with friends. Playing Limited with friends is the best time to play Limited. All right, Searing Blood number 2 is pretty good. All right, I'm gonna attack. Yeah, I don't really care about my opponent untapping lands. Like, I just have to race them here. I'm not stopping them from doing that, so we're just going to put our opponent to 14 here and just see what we can do. But yeah, like, I feel like I'm a pretty good Limited player when I have enough time to sit down and, like, really test the format. What the flying heck is this? Okay. A 4/4 with Trample and Haste. And he's not going to attack. He's not going to attack. So the fun part is I'm going to play Eidolon here because I want to see what you decide to do next turn. I could have attacked and then played the Searing Blood. Could have done that. But I'd like to see if my opponent's willing to run cards into my Eidolon here. And if they are willing to run cards into my Eidolon, how many cards is it? Probably only one. Alright, only one. Well, Eidolon was a 2 for 2 here. And next turn we have... that's muy malo. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this like a Voracious Hydra? Or something dumb? I don't even know what this card does. Oh, I do know what this card does. Man, that's value town. That's so good. Oh my gosh, and it goes to the battlefield? Step. Step. You don't even play Magic? Your mom doesn't even play Magic. How about that, Jacob? Yeah. How many things could you have to do? Did you draw another thing? Oh, you're flipping things. Oh, that's fine. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is happening? What is happening? Oh my god. This, I'm not even blocking. That's just bonkers. Wow, nice turn, opponent. If you'd have told me when we started that turn if I thought I was dead, I would have said no. Alright, we want all the Eidolons on the play. Eidolon's too good on the play. That was definitely an interesting turn. Now, the cool thing is that, you know, normally Deflecting Palm we know is pretty good. But it is, like, now we know Deflecting Palm's great because they're trying to play, like, that flip 9-9 thing. Is this same turn, same game? I'm not sure what you mean. Is this same turn, same game? Yeah, we're going to keep this hand. This hand's really good. Like, if you're asking if they killed me on the same turn that I killed them on the first game, I don't think so. When am I going to carry you in Rocket League? I mean, listen, like, if you guys want to play Rocket League, I'm down to play Rocket League, but I mean, bro, like, there was a while there that, like, I got into Champ, but that was about it. I'm pretty sure now, like, I'm, like, a hard, like, Plat 3. I played Rocket League for the first time today, actually, on lunch. And let me tell you, it did not go well. I will say that. It did not go well. Alright, we're going to put our opponent to 14 here. And we have quite a bit of backup here. Depending on what our opponent does this turn, nothing. Another one. Alright, so we're just going to try and kill our opponent here, honestly. Like, I don't think it's actually lethal. We're going to put that on the bottom. Eidolon's too late. Our opponent's at 2. So, that's pretty good. Alright, man. 500 points. Ask me anything. Do you eat your boogers? No. No, I don't. I can safely say I don't do that. That's a interesting question to ask for 500 points, though. Let's burn them? Yeah, let's burn them. We're actually playing a Ghost Paradox list right now. And it's pretty solid. I mean, we're 3-1. And the one game we lost, we lost game 1 to turn 3 Winota. And then we lost game 2 to turn 5 Winota, like, with a bunch of triggers, so... We just kind of got one-noted. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This has felt pretty good. I heard red deck players eat their boogers. Wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, I've known a few of them. It wouldn't surprise me. Wait, I play red? Oh, self-burn. Those are rare. All right. I like to finish this league out with a 4-1. Feel pretty good to finish with a 4-1. And good luck, opponent. If we have to use the skewers as removal, the skewers are a little awkward as removal, especially on the draw, but I do like them enough to keep them. Do like this hand enough to keep this hand. I don't eat my boogers, I swear. Hey man, I mean, you know, I'll take your word for it. I'd say keep. Yeah, I mean, I think this hand's a keep, like, 9 times out of 10. Like, I guess if you're playing against a specific matchup and you know you need to have a removal spell turn 1, then you could throw this hand away. But I would say keep this hand. Hopefully we get a land here, because if we do, it allows us to go Wizard's Lightning, Skewer the Critics into Lavarunner for a pretty aggressive turn here. Especially if our opponent taps out for pieces of the puzzle. Another 500 points for Ask Me Anything. All right, man. Hit me with it, Jacob. Ask me anything, dog. Is Scarlett Johansson your cup of tea? Cause Red-faced emoji? No. Clarly is my only cup of tea. But thank you for asking. Flexing on chat with my points? If you want to call flexing 500 points, then by all means. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and resolve this while we have a minute here. Our opponent's at 8, so... Wow, they hate your deck. Yeah, they've had a lot of good removal spells here. So it's been a pretty solid game here. The crazy part's they're at 8, and we still have 5 points left in our hand. And you know, playing against these Phoenix decks, burn is pretty solid because the only real interaction here they have is removal for our creatures and Ether Gust. So, all right, we're gonna scry. Yeah, what the heck? I mean, that gives us the land to play Wizard's Lightning that we need, so maybe they've like randomly started playing like Spell Pierce or something like that. Highlights this message. Use those points, chat. I think most people like that, like who watch the stream pretty actively, like to save their points, Jacob, to make me play random decks and stuff like that. So. He's probably taking Iteration Opt here. No, I lied. He's taking Iteration Impulse. I'm just going to say go and do this during his upkeep. If he plays anything here, I'm going to go for it. Because like decks like this just don't play Spell Pierce. Like Pioneer, there's not enough room in Pioneer to play Spell Pierce like there is in Modern. So... Prove me wrong. Spell Pierce this. It's like, prove me wrong. Alright, Rest in Peace is good here. Deflecting Palm is solid in my opinion. Oh, dang, my man was scared to answer Carly was going to come suplex him. No, but okay. How do you get MTG Arena? I looked on Steam and couldn't find it. Is it on Wizards of the Coast or something? If you just go to Google and just type in MTGA download, like it'll pop up and you can download it, man. So this is another one of those matchups where like, is Searing Blood good enough? Like I don't really think so. Like I think Searing Blood is a pretty narrow window. Especially if they have Rest in Peace. Paradox, when you play this list, when you're playing against Phoenix, do you leave in Searing Blood, yes or no? Or do you bring in the 4 Searing Blood? Take Bloods out and 1 Eidolon? You take out an Eidolon here? Really? Fair. Spent all that money to get back into it and haven't played it in a good 3 months, so I need my fix. Hey, man, that's, I get it, man. Like, I've been playing Magic forever. So, Paradox, I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's right to cut an Eidolon because Phoenix is a deck that spins its wills. But I'm going to take your advice here and go for it. 1 draw, it's too slow for you. Okay. I mean, that's fair. Like... Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean like something's right or wrong. But I do think that Eidolon's good in all numbers here. I think I'm gonna keep this. I know we don't have a third white or a white source here for our Deflecting Palm, but Phoenix generally doesn't put on a ton of pressure, so I'm pretty okay with just keeping this the way that we have it here. They didn't have an opt to consider or a removal spell? That's weird. I mean, I'm just going to cast spells here. Like... I don't know, like, if they want to cast Ether Gust on a Lightning Strike, that's fine. I'm going to put it on top. We have a 3rd land, so I'm not worried about it. Plus, I mean, they're either forced to counter my spell, and by counter, I mean put it on top of my deck, or kill my creature. Like, either way, something is coming through here. Well, I'm pretty okay with that, honestly. They cast a Lightning Axe on turn 2, discarding an island. Feels pretty sweet. And Expressive Iteration is a card that gets them some value back. And by some value, I mean all the value. So Expressive Iteration is one of those cards that, like, I won't complain about. Like, don't get me wrong, I hate to see my opponent pill it off the top, but the card's insane. Like, Expressive Iteration is awesome. Expressive Iteration is designed so well. Like, it is a good source of card advantage. The 2 mana is a relatively fair cap on how much you should or should not be spending on your turns like that. And it just feels really good. Like, Expressive Iteration is one of those cards that, like, you will not hear me complain about. Like, if burn ever becomes control burn, like, you'll hear me saying that, like, it's... Like, that we'll be playing that card. So I've always wanted to play... An interesting thing that I've always wanted to try and pioneer is I've always... They scry to the bottom, okay. I've always wanted to be able to play... Search for Azcanta. Play Search for Azcanta in burn. Because I have felt like that would be the perfect amount of card filtering. So the problem is that, like, one, there's not really, like, a valid way to do that. I like putting that on top. Gonna say go here. They opt to the top. Alright, let's go for Play with Fire again. The fact that Play with Fire scries one is insane. Yeah, we'll put that on top. We've topped 3 times in a row. Our opponent's probably a little frustrated by that. And I don't mind holding up Deflecting Palm here in case they just have like a bonkers turn or something into having Eidolon. Like, our opponents really just spent this whole time like spinning their wheels here. They consider a Steam Vents into the yard, okay. Okay, so they're probably going to like take an extra turn here or play Treasure Cruise. Definitely taking an extra turn here. Just I feel like they have to be. I don't know why you tap out like that otherwise. Yep. That is like one of the coolest things you can do in this deck is take 2 extra turns this way. Okay. I see you, opponent. Go upstairs. Down me. Let's go. To the bottom. That's right. Another one. Get that trash out of here. Alright, Hall of the Storm Giants is not bad. Oh my god. No, it has Ward 3, doesn't it? Damn. I was like, 'cause man, let me tell you how much I would love to just Deflecting Palm that thing straight back to hell. Alright, I'm not going to lie. If their last card's a removal spell, we're going to lose a game here. I guess we're not going to lose a game, but it's not looking good. Oh my god, Deflecting Palm doesn't target. You're 100% right. I'm so dumb. I have spent years playing Burn, playing around people trying to give something hexproof, playing friggin' like playing around Boggles or playing around Infect. God. Sometimes I swear it's like I never even learned how to play Magic. Thank you, Paradox, for pointing that out. So our opponent should be at 1 right now. What the heck? Alright, we go to 7. So we did this before blocks because if they do have like a random spell pierce or something crazy here, we can actually just like I'm not going to block because if they do have like a random spell pierce or something crazy, we can block with the Eidolon. God, I've Deflecting Palm a million things. Probably on stream, where you can see me talking about how it's so good because I don't have to target something here. Man, you just do some of the dumbest stuff sometimes. Alright, well, we had a 4-1, and our one loss was to Nutty Winota draws, so, I mean, feels pretty good. I mean, looking at the list, like, I'm not going to lie, like, when I look at this list, like, I do feel skeptical. Like, just everything about the way I like to play Burn feels skeptical here, man, but this... It looked really, like, it was great, man. Like, the deck played really well. It felt really smooth the whole way through, so hats off to Paradox for building a really solid Burn list. Definitely can see why he has only lost 2 games in his last 17 matches. Definitely something I'd run back. Don't really think I'd make any changes, honestly, just because it's, you know, it's a good run that we had tonight, so, and the deck felt solid.